Hey, in today's video I'm showing you a truly excellent vinyl haul. This is basically a vinyl finds video with a few grails. Stick around if you're into 70s hard rock or proto-punk, as well as some power pop, punk, synth pop, and alternative and indie rock. I just may have a few jazz records sprinkled in here to balance everything out as well. Hey guys and gals, it's Hannah the Omaha Introvert. I want to welcome you on into my record room where all the listening magic happens and where I get all my warm and fuzzy feelings about collecting these expensive pieces of round plastic. So if you're addicted to vinyl and CDs and all things music, you are in the right place. I will even be sharing some gifts I recently received from friends in the overall vinyl community. I will be sharing those in a bit. I wanted to give a shout out to 402 Vinyl, a local store here down in Bellevue. Mike, the owner, he's an awesome guy. He gave me this shirt, so I want to say thank you to Mike in the store. And if you're ever in the area, go and check out 402 Vinyl. So I want to start off with the grail because I know many have short attention spans when it comes to YouTube and videos in general. So let's just get right on into a big one. So on Discogs from a seller in Poland, I bought 4 records and this was one of them. This is Iggy Pop's Lust for Life. The overall shipping was very reasonable from this particular seller, and that's kind of why I jumped on it. This is an original German press with the orange labels right here. Super cool to find. I think all in all, this is like $35 total, you know, with the currency conversion. I was just like really happy to find that one. I've been on the hunt for this one for a couple years now. I have a defective CD copy of this that skips on the last track, so I was really looking for a vinyl copy. It's known as Iggy's best solo record. The Idiot before this is also very good, which I have displayed behind me, but like the two are very different from each other. This has more of a punk energy to it. Gotta love the title track, Lust for Life, The Passenger, Success, Neighborhood Threat. It's all just so good. Check. It's now in the collection, and of course David Bowie's stamp is on it. I just love their collaborations together. So Iggy Pop's Lust for Life. That was definitely a grail. This one, Depeche Mode's Memento Mori. I don't believe I've talked about this one yet on my channel because I've been focused on other content. Of course I had to pick up this album. Depeche Mode are sometimes my #1 favorite band ever. Other days they could be #2. I did a Depeche Mode ranking video earlier on when I started my channel. That video is from like 2018 or 2019, so I believe it's before the Spirit album came out. It's up to you if you want to check it out. I'll leave the link up above, but Memento Mori, this is a double album, or 3 sides actually. So there are a 2-piece here. It's Dave Gahan and Martin Gore. Sadly, Andy Fletch as he was known, he passed away last year. But you know, they're still putting out the music. Just great packaging on this, by the way. Just this nice deluxe gatefold, beautiful. And of course I got the black vinyl version because that's usually what I tend to go for if I have the option. And I got this down at Vinyl Cup Records, a local store. So the 4th side has this beautiful etching on it. I don't know if that will exactly come through. Yeah, I guess it kind of is. So yeah, highly anticipated album. I wasn't super impressed with Spirit when it came out, but this one is so much stronger than Spirit. I'm just so happy they're back. It's even better than Delta Machine, which is really hard for me to admit that because I really connected with Delta Machine pretty heavily, and I listened to that album so much. This one took me maybe 2 or 3 listens before it really sunk in, and then it really impacted me. So if you've only listened to it once and wrote it off, please come back to it. I feel like this is a very cohesive album. It does start off a little bit slow. This is very introspective and dark. There's like themes of death, spirituality, and the afterlife. I think it was constructed like during COVID, and that's when the process started anyway. So some of the tones definitely mirror that time. So Depeche Mode are like proof that a decades-old band can still create a beyond fantastic and solid album. This will most likely be in my top 3 albums of the year when all is said and done. I'm guessing. Dave Gahan still sounds excellent. Martin Gore, he never falters. The songwriting, the execution, just all of it, it is perfection. So my favorite tracks off of this are Ghosts Again, Soul With Me, Before We Drown, Always You, and Never Let Me Go. Very strong album right here. Here's another release from this year. Let me go ahead and take the sleeve off. So this is a band called Eyelids. I didn't grab the CDs I have over there, but I do have 3 prior CDs that they put out. So my friend on Instagram, the Vinyl Darling, generously sent me a copy of Eyelids' latest. This is called A Colossal Waste of Light. This is their first new album in 3 years, and I'm very familiar with their catalog. Like I said, I have 3 CDs in the collection. I'm just gonna read a little bit of the front to give you kind of an idea. This was produced by Peter Buck of REM, and by the way, they've worked with Peter Buck before in the past. So this frames the quintet as one of today's most compelling purveyors of lopsided guitar pop workouts and earworm-laden vocal melodies evoking favorites from a glorious past. The penetrating moodiness of XTC's Black Sea, my favorite XTC album by the way, or REM's Fables of the Reconstruction comes to mind, while refusing to waste time on idle nostalgia. And I just love like the cover art on that. It's really cool. And then this is my favorite color, by the way, purple. It's like a purple splattered vinyl, so love that. Really infectious tunes you would expect to hear from a great modern power pop or indie pop album. There's great jingly guitars on here. The songs aren't too long. It keeps you engaged. This is just a really strong release and a contender for favorite power pop album of the year. If you dig Teenage Fan Club and some great harmonies, check out Eyelids. Starts off really great with Crawling Off of Your Pages and Stay Strong Throughout. Only So Much is fantastic. I'm really kind of obsessed with the last 3 songs as well, called Pink Chair, Lying in Your Tomb, and I Can't Be Told. But the whole thing is outstanding. So thank you to the Vinyl Darling for the latest Eyelids release. Speaking of the Vinyl Darling as well, she let me know of a sale that was happening on the Rockathon Records website, and this is all Guided by Voices and Robert Pollard related stuff. The sale was, records were $10 each and the CDs were marked down to $5 each. So I'm going to start with 3 CDs I got first by Boston Spaceships, which is like Robert Pollard's side project. I haven't known about this band for very long, but this band is just as good as Guided by Voices. I think they have maybe a few more rocking out moments with this band, maybe slightly more power pop, but I mean there's not too many differences between Boston Spaceships and Guided by Voices. So I got their first album, Brown Submarine, as well as The Planets Are Blasted. I think this one is my favorite so far that I've listened to. And then 0 to 99, excuse me. So Robert Pollard just has like this knack for writing catchy tunes, really quirky stuff. So other CDs I picked up are Guided by Voices, Class Clown Spots a UFO, and The Bears for Lunch. I think these are both from around 2012. Then I picked up 2 Robert Pollard solo albums, Kid Marine, I think originally released in 1999 or so, and I showed this on my Instagram. This is very good. As well as, and I haven't even broken the seal on this or listened to it yet, From a Compound Eye. That was another kind of like highly rated album of his, so I wanted to make sure I picked that up. And then this one I haven't listened to yet either because I've been like focused on the CDs, but Space Gun by Guided by Voices. And that one, I think probably around 2018 or so. That sale was unbelievable, so I appreciate the Vinyl Darling letting me know about that. Pollard is also heavily influenced by The Who and Pete Townsend, so that's probably another reason I really dig them. Alright, the next one is a reissue of Subhumans, From the Cradle to the Grave, and I just recently showed this on Instagram. If you follow me on there, you've already seen it, but their entire discography has been reissued to vinyl by Pirates Press. I was a little bit leery that this is on colored vinyl. I'll show it to you. It's also on my favorite color. We've been getting some more purple vinyl releases lately, which I'm definitely not mad about. But I was a little bit scared because, you know, colored vinyl is not my go-to, but this one actually sounds very good. The guitars are punchy, everything's punchy. Yeah, no complaints from me. I also have an original of their Worlds Apart album right there behind me. I think I'm going to end up picking up one more of their albums, The Day the Country Died. But this is their second album, and they're known as like an anarcho-punk band. Perhaps a little bit of prog on this one too, just like Worlds Apart. But some of these songs get a little bit tiresome. This is very long for a punk record. I think it's like 41 minutes. Some of the riffs can be rather repetitive, but I really love the songs Where's the Freedom and Rain. Those two especially. I'm just really happy with the quality of this one, and I will be picking up one more, most likely. Okay, so next, we've got Ashrae Fax, and I know I've got some Cocteau Twins fellow fans here on my channel, as you chimed in when I did my recent Cocteau Twins album ranking video. Check it out if you haven't. I'll leave the link above if you missed it the first time anyway. This is Ashrae Fax on the Mexican Summer label. This is not a brand new release. This came out in 2014, I believe. There's only 2 Ashrae Fax albums out there in total. I'm still trying to get the first one. This second album is a little bit more polished than their first, but it still retains like those heavy Cocteau Twins influences. It's got elements of dream pop, synth pop, ethereal wave. That's kind of a new term for me, but I think Renee Mendoza is her name. She's the vocalist. Her vocals are really beautiful, and this is worth checking out. I don't believe they're still an active band, but if you like Cocteau Twins, that's what I'm trying to say. If you like them, like, this is a great adjacent modern band. Destroy All Monsters is next. So a very generous viewer who has sent stuff to me in the past and has given me like so many good recommendations, Nick Schultz, he mentioned this band to me, and I looked them up and I sampled their music and I was sold. So I ordered this one through my local store, Grapefruit. This one's on the Trading Places label. So even though I cleaned it, I still do get some crackles with this pressing, but this is basically a compilation of that band. They formed in the early 70s. This is their early singles through the 70s, like the late 70s. It's like proto-punk, psych, all rolled together. The vocalist Niagara, she kicks ass. Like, she's basically what drew me into this band. If it wasn't for the singer, I probably wouldn't be that interested, but she just kind of sets the band apart from others with her sexy and cool voice. She actually sounds a lot like Kim Gordon of Sonic Youth, or rather, I guess I should say Kim Gordon sounds like Niagara. But the songs I really love are Bored, You're Gonna Die, and Nobody Knows. Those are probably my favorite ones off of here. So if you haven't heard of Destroy All Monsters and you're into like hard rock, proto-punk, check them out. All right, we're getting into some jazz territory. I have 2 things to show. I could show more, but I'm gonna keep it down to 2. So I bought this album from one of my viewers mentioning and leaving a comment about this artist. So I think Brumma Jones 803 is the handle name of the viewer who mentioned her, and then Nick Schultz also chimed in, so thank you both. This is Jaimie Branch with Fly or Die. So her nickname was Breezy. This is an amazing avant-garde jazz trumpeter, or she was. Sadly, actually, she passed away at age 39. She was working on so many things, and she was involved in so many projects. This is 35 minutes or so, and it packs a punch. This is like dripping with creativity. The drums blow me away on it as well. Chad Taylor, yeah. So if you want something a little bit more different when it comes to jazz with some other styles and experimentation thrown in, give this a try. She died way too young. I'm really impressed with this. So Jaimie Branch with Fly or Die. And that's how you spell Jaimie right there, a little bit different. Awesome record. All right, I'm only gonna show one more jazz record, but I have Straight Ahead, Oliver Nelson with Eric Dolphy. I just feel like I lose my audience when I talk about jazz, but I found this used down at Grapefruit. It's a 1984 reissue. Let me go ahead and show the label. It's like, I guess it's just called New Jazz, that label. This is one that had been on my want list. This is recorded in 1961. I really dig hard bop when it comes to jazz. Maybe this is post bop, I don't know. Lots of use of the term post when it comes to subgenres, you know, post-punk being my favorite, but yeah, perhaps this is post-bop. I don't know, I'm not that well versed in all of the jazz labels out there, but I'm gonna keep this short. This is just a captivating listen. I love 6-4, Ralph's New Blues, and the title track Straight Ahead. This is top-notch jazz. I mean, what else can I say? All the jazz albums that I've been picking up or have been gifted so far have really just blown me away. Next, I want to thank Anthony Bernard for letting me take my pick of several records he was getting rid of. Thank you so much, Anthony. I'm not even showing everything here because I'm still kind of digesting everything and working my way through the pile, but he really sent a lot of goodies. And I want to start with this reissue of Cake's Prolonging the Magic. This is their third album. Such a nostalgic band for me. They were big during my high school years, so like the late 90s. I still need to pick up the reissue of Fashion Nugget. The songs I recall being on the radio from this one are Never There, Sheep Go to Heaven, was Heaven for Garment kind of a hit from them? I don't remember, but I really like that song too, as well as Mexico. So this may not be their best album, but I think it's very worthy. And like I said, it's just the nostalgia factor for me. Classic band, that's a great album, Prolonging the Magic by Cake. And then he sent a reissue of Talking Heads 77. I don't need to spend much time on this. I have a US first pressing, but it's a bit beat up. I got it for $1 at Rainy Day Records up in Olympia, Washington. So it's nice to have a cleaner copy. I believe this is one of the Kevin Gray represses. So it's like a 2020 repress of that 2009 reissue maybe, I think. I'll have to double check again, but yep, I've displayed this record so many times in the past. It's a killer debut. Great to have a very clean copy, and it sounds awesome. Next we have, this is the last one I'm going to show from the bundle he sent, but this Depeche Mode box set. So this is Speak and Spell. It's the 12-inch singles. It comes in this nice packaging. On the back, it kind of tells you what's in there. So there's 3 discs. You get the 12-inch singles of Dreaming of Me, New Life, Just Can't Get Enough, and then there's a flexi disc. I like the cover they did of Fad Gadget's King of the Flies. Really good. This is from Depeche Mode's first album, the singles from the first album. And I've really wanted these box sets for a while, but I just never sprung for them, so I'm really happy to have this Speak and Spell box set. Thank you very much, Anthony. What a treat. I saved 2 grills for last. So I scored an original UK pressing of The Cure's Disintegration. Yes, look at that. Look at it. I love this album so much. I also have a 2010 reissue. This is probably in my top 3 Cure albums. This is not a perfect original though. Unfortunately, there's quite a lot of crackles and pops on it. Still thankful to have it for what I paid. But yeah, I probably will try to get a cleaner copy in the future. I feel like the reissue I have, the bass is more prominent, but on this original, it just, like, everything sounds pretty warm, but I do have to turn it like way up. So, the reissues are done pretty well. So, if you just have one of those, you could you could stick with that. I'm not sure how impressed I am with the sound quality of this UK original. If you're familiar with The Cure, you've probably heard at least 1 or 2 songs from this album. I mean, Pictures of You is on here, Love Song, Lullaby, Fascination Street. This is probably the most accessible Cure album, or a perfect starting point for newbies. They really bring the funk here too. The doom and gloom, like all the moods. This is a masterpiece. I feel like I don't want to go too in depth with this because whenever I do my top 100 albums of the 80s series, hint hint, this is in there, if you know what I mean. All right, finally, the big kahuna, the huge ass grail of this video. We've got another My Bloody Valentine delight. So this is Ecstasy and Wine. I have a knockoff or an unofficial CD copy of this that I've owned probably since 2010, 2011, maybe even before that. So this contains 2 of their EPs that were released before There Isn't Anything album. If you're only familiar with the Loveless era of My Bloody Valentine, this is totally different, totally different. This is in fact both jangly, psychedelic, and noisy, but like in a blissful way. This is a very magical period for them, in my opinion. I'll try to include song clips if I can, just so you can get an idea of what they sound like during this era. I have wanted this on vinyl since I became a more serious collector, like back in 2018. But Belinda Butcher's voice is so good on this. This is just a very light and airy listen, lots of reverb. Not every single song is a 10 out of 10, but most of them are. So this is just such a treat for me to now own. It's on Lazy Records. It's a label. Like one side is white and the other side is black. My God, this is just like super grail right here. Amazing. And it's like pristine condition. Like what more can I ask for, right? Love that so much. I will try to include sound clips right here. Alright, that's it. I'm gonna stop for now. Those are my vinyl finds to show. There's so many more that I would like to talk about and share, but we gotta trim it down a little bit. Otherwise, I could talk for literally an hour or 2, and nobody has time to listen to me talk for an hour or more about music. So I'm gonna do a post-punk finds video next. I know. I just have accumulated a lot more post-punk, so it only makes sense for me to do another like post-punk focused video. Could it kill my channel? Please hang in people. I know I have some post-punk mega fans here, so that video is for you, the post-punk people. So I hope you come back, and then we'll probably do a Susie and the Banshees ranking video after that. So I'm doing my best. Hey, I did 2 videos in 2 weeks. That's pretty good for me. Oh, in the future, I'm also gonna do probably like a best 10 albums of 1983 video. But, and there's a reason I'm gonna be skipping 1982 for now. I know I haven't done 1982 yet, but all will be revealed later. Leave me a comment down below if you liked this video and if you want to discuss anything that I talked about here. Always great to hear from you. Please love each other, and I will see you with a new video soon. Catch you later.